What's going on, guys? How are we all doing today? Today's video, I wanted to go and talk about a few things. Most importantly, we're going to be talking about some of these new mods that we will be getting here shortly. We're going to be talking about that probably the most in this video. We're going to be talking about some of this new Palpatine kind of art changes. Are we going to get a rework? Are we not? And also, we're going to talk about some of this new stuff for the Galactic Legends. So I want to talk about the Galactic Legends probably first and then go into the mods. So to do this, let's swap over to the Galactic Legends information. So we're going to be talking really about this forum post. Not forum post, gosh. It was the Galactic War Report post onto Reddit. Never made it on the forums. You know how it is, right? So this is going to be, I mean, we can read all of this, but I really want to hit up on this very, very ending part about what they kind of are going to act and play out like. But as you can see here, there's general, there's going to be ultimates. They're going to be transforming into a new mode rather than an attack. So it's going to be probably a bit different than the Rey and the Kylo, if that's the case. A new mode rather than an attack. Rey and Kylo had both attacks, you know, the huge ultimate hits with the sabers. I mean, we can keep reading it, but I thought that was probably the one thing that was worth mentioning the most here. Requirements, we already can tell that the Luke ones are going to be probably a bit more hefty because of the JKL requirements. And it says right here, 45 7-star characters to unlock JML, thanks to the multiple legendaries. So Jedi Luke needed because they're finishing his story with his final form. So I mean, just knowing that it's probably, we already kind of knew it with all those crazy 7 stars. But yeah, it's a lot, 45. But then now you see the Emperor. He only needs 19. So, I mean, it's one thing to consider, honestly. If you were to not be a long-time player, I would say definitely go for the Palpatine first, because just like the investment towards him is a lot easier than the investment towards Luke. We've already kind of gone over that, but that's a pretty huge difference, right? What else? Down here, there are events. There's some cool event encounters. We're going to go and show you some of them in a video that we saw on the StarWars.com page. But as you can see here, the encounter one for Luke is going to be Luke R2 versus Jabba's Thug. So this is kind of Return of the Jedi. And then the second one's going to be the Skiff's Han, Chewie Lando, and just kind of more stuff like that. It's kind of pretty much the whole Return of the Jedi, I would say. And then the later encounters, you got Luke versus Darth Vader in the throne room. And then, yeah, it's pretty much just the whole movie of the episode 6. And then for the Eternal Emperor, of course, and also in Luke, probably episode 7 with the Last Jedi. And then we got the Eternal Emperor's event. We got encounter 1 being episode 3, Mace Windu. You know, that awesome scene where Anakin saves him. So that's going to be interesting. The other one, we got some Death Star stuff, so pretty cool. And then I think the final tier, yeah, right here it says it's going to be kind of like the episode 9 with Rey and Ben Solo, and kind of how that all played out, right? So a lot of fun stuff. We're going to show you some of that in a little bit for how that will look. Actually, there's some footage actually of that in action. But the stuff I want to go over the most is right here. So we can see here, this is the Sith Eternal Emperor, and this is kind of, from what we're going to be reading here, is just kind of how they're going to be acting. Some of their new kind of, I wouldn't say abilities, but, you know, some new things that we're going to be looking at and talking about here. So it says here, attached to the, I don't even know, Omen harness at the start of the battle. So whatever that means, I really got no clue. Ultimate is Emperor stepping off of the Omen harness. Oh, so the harness is probably when he's just kind of up in the, okay, that makes more sense. Gotcha, from the movie, of course. And then, so he steps off this harness thing. And then he is now the Gucci sweater Palps. Okay, I love to see it. Palpatine can manipulate the numbers of opposing characters. That's pretty interesting, right? He has a new deceived debuff that spreads like plague to reflect him being the puppet master behind the scenes of the whole time. This also says that he can be targeted by characters with deceive. That's, I mean, that's pretty cool. And each one contributes to his ultimate charge. So it says that it spreads like plague, and it says people with it, he cannot target Palpatine. That's pretty powerful. That's actually very, very cool. I like that a lot. So that's one pretty cool thing. It also says the original kit idea involved both enemy team and his own team being deceived, but didn't make it through testing. Interesting. this thing was probably the coolest thing I'd say out of this whole read on Palpatine. It says he can link or intertwine enemy characters like Rey and Kylo, which does nothing until one of the characters die. And then it says his unique causes protection damage at the start of his turns more versus Jedi. They also can't critically hit and deal less damage plus more. So that is pretty hardcore stuff. The link, what I've heard is that if somebody does die, one of the links dies, that means the other one dies as well. I'm pretty dang sure. So it's kind of almost like another Annihilate to an extent. But also you can see here his unique causes protection damage, kind of like the episode 6 Palpatine, right? With the shocks. That's pretty cool. If you're just thinking about it, you can run that old Palpatine leadership and probably not even that, right? Just using Palpatine in general and then just causing all of that reduction to the health and the protection too. I mean, that's kind of crazy. You're pretty much just eating up the Jedi alive. Like over time, they're just dying and dying and dying. That's kind of crazy. And they can't be critically hit while they have this this thing, and they deal less damage plus more. So probably a lot more anti-Jedi stuff here, which is going to be playing a part against, of course, Luke's team, I would assume, right? So we got that. Also, it says here when he transforms, this is ultimate, by the way. His ultimate, when he uses ultimate, all linked characters. Okay, so this is the thing I was talking about, just barely. All linked characters are instantly defeated. Called Power Ultimate. Wait, called Power, Unlimited Power. Oh, that's the ultimate name. Okay. So, yeah, what I was just talking about right there is the linked characters will all die while the ultimate's popped, and then the other part of the ultimate will be happening, but we don't know what that is just yet. So that's pretty bonkers. That's kind of crazy, actually. And then last but not least here, it says various other abilities are named using iconic lines from Palpatine's whole timeline. So just kind of fun stuff there, right? So the best things there, I'd say, is the linked ability and kind of just more anti-Jedi stuff, which is definitely cool. Okay, and then Luke right here, it says not as much as Palpatine. So we'll just read it really quickly. It says he does not do a lot combat-wise, but he can do some hits, as we've been known to hear. And then it says first move JMLs that the JML can make is his ultimate. So his first move, he can use his ultimate at 100% charge. What? First move JML can make is his ultimate at 100% charge. So, and you must activate it. That's crazy. Okay. But it says right here, it might just be for the event, unclear for the podcast. Interesting. But if that's the case, that's pretty interesting, and I love that a lot. And it says Luke in his ultimate is projecting himself, rather, gaining ridiculous buffs for the rest of the battles. So a lot of buffs there for the Jedi. Also, it says here Luke is very defensive based until he transforms. So I would assume he's gonna do some good damage, but mainly just kind of the buffs part. Buffing him up crazy, but also probably giving out more buffs to the Jedi, which is definitely a good thing. And then right here, last but not least, it says here Luke has lessons and legacy from the Jedi Masters to give to teammates. Lessons become legacies. This part slightly unclear, they say. So interesting stuff there. I don't know how that's going to all work, but I would assume it's going to be just like a Master's Training from Herman Yoda, but probably a lot better. You know, starting off with like a basic thing there called lessons, then turning that into a legacy. So, you know, basic buffs, you know, whatever stat you get from the lessons, turning that crazier with legacy. So that's very, very good stuff. So I'm very, very excited for this. The whole Galactic Legends. I'm still going to go for Luke because I'm the closer to him. Palpatine's looking a lot of fun, though. I mean, that right there, the Link killing 2 linked people with his ultimate, that's crazy. I mean, I can't wait for it. So, with all that being said, I'm now going to talk. Actually, you know what? We'll show this really quickly, actually. This is the some of the battles you can see here from their video that they showed. That's just kind of quick, kind of brief, short to the moment. So, there's a throne room. We're not throne room. That's the Palpatine place in episode 3. There's episode 6. That's a throne room right there, and that's about it. Yeah, so just kind of some short stuff right there. And now mods. I'm going to not spend too much time on the mods, but mods here. First and foremost, I'd say when it comes to the mods is right here, guys. It's not. I'm going to just read it off from what I've been hearing. They're not going to affect fleet. I don't see it affecting fleet at all. It says 6A mods, right here, this is from a buddy of mine. He's saying 6A mods won't change the stats on ships, just like taking a mod from 5E to 5A doesn't change their stats. At least they shouldn't. But I can still definitely see them changing that with fleet, and they will make it a more of a fleet kind of thing. But from my point of view, I just don't see it affecting fleet as much or even at all. So I would not, worry too much about fleet here. Then again, I don't know, because we're probably going to be getting a fleet raid or some sort of fleet-based raid here shortly. We don't know. I don't know. But that's definitely something to consider. I personally just don't think these mods will affect fleet as much. So, but the thing here I want to kind of talk about of how this is all going to be kind of playing out is just like talking about it, I guess. If you guys don't really get it, I'm going to try to explain it as best as I can. So you're now going to have a few more mods you got to slice. Or not really slice, but new things you have to farm to slice. And you get, I think, 4 to 5 new roles. I kind of forget. But right here, it's a really bad screenshot. But yeah, it's very, very pixelated. But you can kind of see here. This is a 15 speed roll for 3 times. 3 there for the defense. So you're now going to have, like I said, I don't know. I think it's 4 to 5. I think from this one to green, that's 1. And then green to blue is 2. Blue to purple is 3. Purple to gold is 4. So probably 4, I'd say. So you're going to have 4 more rolls to get your guys and your mods and your stats up. But you can only hit 5 as at the max. So this speed one can only hit 5 as a max. So that's still a good mod, though, to kind of consider, because you can hit 5, or you can still hit 5 on the rolls for your 15 speed, but also maybe on those other 2 rolls, you can hit probably some more offense, health, or defense. So that's a pretty cool thing, I'd say. I'm definitely interested in that part of it. And I'll show you some mods that I think will be really good for me personally to roll while these are now new into the game. But there's going to be 4 of these new mats you got to farm and work on. This one's the first part of it from E to D, or from D to whatever, C, I guess, and then C to B, B to A, all these sort of things here. So there's gonna be a lot of stuff you gotta kind of work on here, but that's kind of it. The only things I would really say are the ones you got to worry about, and like how this all is going to work is that you can max out of 5, but if you already have like a 5 speed one, then you're not gonna get any more speed on that mod, right? So to kind of show this is to go back in game and kind of point towards it. So I'm going to show you my best mod I have in my inventory, and that one's going to be my critical avoidance arrow right here onto my Thrawn. So this one right here, the very bottom one, it already hit 5 speed on all those rolls, so I cannot gain any further speed at all. And keeping in mind that these mods only affect the secondary stats, you will not gain any extra primary stat bonuses. They're all going to remain at the same exact ones and levels. So this is all going to affect the secondary stats. So we're talking the speed here, like, I mean, really anything here, honestly. But keeping in mind that once it hits a 5 roll, you can't get any more on that single stat. But on this one, I can definitely hit more on my health, tenacity, anything like that for 4 more rolls. So not the worst thing ever, but I wouldn't personally work on this mod any further, because I don't need those stats anymore, right? What I want to kind of go for are more mods like this on my damage sets, right? So there's like a lot of sets and offense and crit damage where I have a lot of critical, or rather offense percent on my my secondaries, like this one right here. This one hit 4 times on my offense percent. It has speed, but the cool thing is I can now hit and potentially hit an extra one for my 5th roll on my offense percent, and also get some more speed. And it has critical chance. Like, this mod's looking pretty crazy at with these new mods, this whole new mod system. So this one is one I would recommend for myself. I will probably go for this one first. Another one here is Luke's. He had 4 on the offense percent. He already got some nice speed, so this is definitely a really good one as well. So like stuff like this is what I would like kind of look out for. I don't know how crazy good like speed sets are going to be here. I mean, they're still going to be good. It's really on these ones, just like the speed on the secondaries. If you only hit like 4 on one of them, let me try to find one. Like this one right here on Watt. So this one hit 20. for 4 rolls, and it's not the worst one, but like this one I would probably work on over time because I could definitely get some more speed added on with that roll. But it's nothing like I would like go for first. I think this is probably a little bit later of a mod I'd roll. But like it has offense percent as well, so you got to kind of worry about these same really good stats like defense percent, offense percent, maybe some critical chance, but of course speed you want to kind of worry about as well. But really just kind of maximizing your mod. There's gonna be some mods where you just won't be able to maximize at all with these new mod and these new this new like little mod setup we're gonna have here shortly. But it's something to kind of consider, I'd say. So I mean, there's definitely gonna be some mods here that are going to be worth it. And you can just kind of go into your own mod inventory and see which ones had proc the highest speeds and kind of work from there. Maybe looking at ones that are only a 4 roll on your speeds that have a lot of high speed. Maybe they can get some more, even more speed, right? So stuff like that I would kind of consider. So that's pretty much it for these ones. If you guys don't really get from what I just said, if that still does not make any sense, that's kind of from what I've read and what I've kind of heard from other people. That makes the most sense to me personally on these new mods. I wouldn't say they're going to affect fleet as much. And I'm not even that worried about these. If it's going to make me have to, you know, farm them a bit more, that's okay with me. I'm not too worried, but I am looking forward to them. So this is my last part here. It's going to be the shortest part here. Are we going to get a rework on this guy or not since we got a new art change? I don't know. Personally, I can see it going both ways. But definitely, it's from what we just had with Vader recently. We got a rework on Vader. I can see it happening here as well. It's probably not going to be anything huge because his kit's already pretty dang well off. But I could maybe see a bit of a touch-up, kind of a few more, you know, things kind of playing more into effect with this other new Emperor Palpatine, or rather this new Sith Eternal Emperor, rather, and maybe kind of synergizing him with his Episode 9 version of himself and making them both work kind of together a little bit more better, right? So maybe that's what this whole thing's going to be about. Not like a full-on rework for his kit, but maybe just some more tweaks, some more touch-ups to make him and the new Emperor work really well together. But yeah, I don't see a full-on rework though for him. So yeah. Now, with all of that being said, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, that's probably gonna do it for my video. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a like, share it around, and sub to the channel if you guys are new here. If you guys have any more ideas for videos you guys would like me to do about this game, just always let me know down below in the comments. Maybe even join up in Discord if you guys would like to. That's all down below in the description, as well as the Patreon and the supporting things to my channel. But yeah, I'm looking forward to these new GLs. I'm looking forward to the new mods. And yeah, that's my whole take on it all. Thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, I will see you all later. Peace out and have a good one.